All right, hello, welcome back to Miss M Tries to Teach You Things. So if you haven't watched any of the other tutorial videos, that's fine, but just so you know, I'm working with Photoshop CS4. So if you're working with a different version of Photoshop, CS6 or Creative Cloud, things might look slightly different, but in general, they should be in very similar places. The updates to each version are kind of minor, and the tools we're using have been in Photoshop, I believe, at least since CS2. Anyways, so I'm going to open up my Rose Lucian Hair edit file because I already have some layers on that. I've been working with that. One, you can go to File, Open, or you can drag the file right to the toolbar if you're working with a Mac. So any commands I give that I say Apple, if you're working on a PC, you're going to need to use Control. So this tutorial is going to be for dust and scratches on your negative. So this will, if you have, if you're working with color or you're working with black and white. So first what you're going to do is you're going to make a copy of the background. You can do this by right-clicking and say Duplicate Layer, or you can click and drag it to this icon to the left of the trash can. It looks kind of like, I always think it looks like a pad of paper or Post-it notes where the corner's being taken up. Okay, so we want a background copy, and I want you to rename that Dust and Scratches. So you click on the name, and then I'm going to rename that one Dust and Scratches. So if you notice, I'm putting it under my curves layer because layers apply to everything that's on the layer and then below it. So it kind of blocks it like you're physically layering it. So right now my dust and scratches layer is blocking out my background layer, which is fine. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to press Apple plus. Again, if you're on a PC, that's going to be Control plus. And actually, I'm going to zoom out, Apple minus. And what I like to do for dust and scratches is I like to lay a grid over it so I can stay organized and make sure I'm not missing things. So I like to go View, Show, and then Grid. And then I like to just go square by square to make sure I've gotten all the dust in that area. Okay, so I'm not going to show you every single thing, right? So I would zoom in and then I would kind of scroll to, oh, okay, do I see any major dust or scratches? No. Do I see any dust or scratches that I need to take care of? Not really. Okay, here we go. Here's some. So the first one I'd recommend using, and make sure you're on your dust and scratches layer, is this tool that looks like a Band-Aid. It's called the Spot Healing Brush. Make sure you're on the Spot Healing Brush and not just Healing Brush, Spot Healing Brush. You want the circle to be a little bit larger than the dust or scratch that you're taking care of. Okay, and you just click on it, and what this tool does is it looks around what's on the circle and it kind of blends it together. Okay, so you don't want it to be too large because I'll show you, like, say here's an elbow, and I click that, and then it just doesn't really understand, and it makes it weird. So you just want your circle, and what I'm using are the left and right brackets on the keyboard, the ones near the delete key, to make that circle bigger or smaller. Okay, so I'm using the left bracket key. It's right under the plus and minus. Okay, and I just click and I patiently wait. Okay, and so it's going to be a little tedious. It's just like spot toning, but digital. So what you're doing is spot toning, but digitally. Okay, so I'm just spot toning that out. Let me know if you are running into problems with this, and if I need to teach you how to use the clone stamp. Like, say you're trying to fix something and there's like a plaid or a pattern on it. That's just stuff on his pants, or on my pants, right? Or the hoodie. I can't tell. Okay, but you want it to look, you want to, have it blend in. So you could take your time, get rid of all the dust and scratches. And you can see if you use on your layers palette, click the eyeball, and it's going to show you, oh, here's what the dust and scratches layer is actually doing on the image. Okay, so you can spend some time just cleaning that up. Okay, yeah, so you want your image to be nice and clean. If there's a scratch, like I think I see a scratch right here on my negative, or you see this funky line, okay, so I'm going to click, and then I'm going to click and hold down, and I'm dragging the cursor, and then I let go, and there we go, et voila. Okay, Apple Z is undo and redo, okay, or if you want to go back multiple steps, you go to Window, and then History, and it shows you the steps you've done, and you can go back a certain number of steps if you want to go back, 10 steps ago, but you don't want to get rid of the whole layer. So that's a helpful little thing to do too. Okay, so get rid of all your dust and scratches. What happens sometimes too is like students are like, Miss M, it's not editing because you're on the wrong layer. So make sure you're always on that dust and scratches layer when you're getting rid of dust and scratches. Okay, and then we save, file save, and it's saving it with the edit because I'm saving my layers. All right, that'll be it for this tutorial on dust and scratch removal.